All right, here we are live here on the Break It Down show. I'm waiting on author Matthew Dennison to join us. Not sure what his status is. We're set to set up for today. This is the makeup from last week. So hopefully Matthew will pop in here in a few moments. We've had good comms and I've done what I know how to do to get everything set up. So hopefully he'll be here soon and we'll be able to talk about the biography he wrote on the Queen of England. I'm interested in seeing what he says. That lady's been around for a long time, almost 100 years, and she's been the boss for a very, very long time. So I'm fascinated by that. I'm also fascinated by a couple other things that I'm going to be doing here coming up. Like I said, I'm going to be getting on the road more. And so I figured, at least if nothing else, I'll check in with you all here for a few minutes and talk about some of the stuff that's coming up for the show. Tony and I are working right now on finalizing the last little bits of, and there's not much work to do. Like 90+% done on the last few episodes of the Prison Chronicles. Those will come out pretty soon. And then when we get on the road, John and I are going to go to Tennessee and talk to a bunch of musicians and other people in the area of Nashville and Memphis. So that's exciting and coming up. I will be heading to not only Apache Flats and Fort Bowie, which is in the Chiricahuas, that's the southeastern part of Arizona, but I'll also be heading out to a really remote part of western Texas. When you say West Texas, Texas is so big it doesn't really cover it, but this is on the border south of El Paso, but north of Big Bend Park. I'll be in the Big Bend Park area, but I'm going to go out there and I intend to, if at all possible, grab a couple of shows when I'm on the road out there, whether it's border stuff or just talking to a Big Bend park ranger or something like that. I'm going to work on those things so that I'm on the road and I'm doing things, but I'm also going to set it up so that we can have these conversations and maybe bring you some stuff from some very, very remote spots. It's one of the darkest in terms of electrified power places in the United States, so it's great for stargazing. So there's all kinds of interesting things and people out there. And if I'm on the green, I should be able to bring you some adventures from very hot, very remote West Texas. When I was going to get my master's degree, I was in school with a guy named Rick Knuckles, and he kind of looked like, I can imagine Sam Elliott would look like if he was a West Texas border town kind of cowboy guy. And he was a border agent and this very Western looking dude. And so I always wonder what happened to that guy. I've never been able to find him again. We were in Arizona together and he worked the southern border there, but he was always talking about wanting to get back to West Texas on the border where he was raised and what he loved. And this guy definitely was a rancher. So, and by the way, the backup piece was a giant 45 on his ankle. And how do I know that? Because he would cross his legs in class and he'd point that thing at me. I'm like, Rick, can you not cross your legs with your gun pointing at me? Who carries a 45 as a backup piece? A badass like Rick Knuckles. Anyhow, I hope Rick Knuckles is doing well. It's been a long time since I've seen that guy. And so who knows where he is. I've had a master's degree for over 20 years. Isn't that crazy? But anyhow, a couple other trips coming up. I'm going to be doing... Well, I'm working on a couple things. I guess I won't tell you about those other things yet because they're not really all the way set. But trust me, I'm going to be getting out on the road. How do I do this? One, I do it. I stay very lean. I don't spend a lot of money. I don't do a lot of comfort expenses, and I keep it lean because that's what I have to do to be able to do that. So when I ask for your all support, I'll put the link up for PayPal. When I ask for your support, understand that that's where the money goes, is to get me on the road, to buy gas, to buy food. If you ever want to support one of these trips, just hit me up, peter@breakitdownshow.com. Peter, want to support one of your trips? Okay, great. Buy me a tank of gas. Honestly, that's a huge, huge help. I don't mind, packing it up and sleeping in a tent or whatever it is and saving money on hotels. The biggest thing is can I get out there on the road and get to these stories? And I'll be doing more of that over the next year, now that COVID has kind of lightened up, with all respect to the folks who are experiencing COVID, horrible things right now. I feel like it's safe and appropriate to be able to get out of the house now and start to explore some of these things. I have Tennessee on the slate, got Texas on the slate, got another trip that maybe is going to happen. So at Arizona, of course, with the Apache Flats stuff. But that's where I'm at right now. If there's somewhere you think I should go or some kind of story you think I should be covering, hey, let me know. I'd love to get into it. I'm going to try to get some people on to talk about some Texas history. Since I'm doing some Texas stuff, I've got to research these things so I know what the heck I'm talking about when I'm out there. But I'm also going to be looking into the California water wars. And that's a complex issue, and it gets more and more complex. As soon as you look into it, you start to realize this is just a damning problem. It should, on the surface, be simple, but it's not. It's not just desalinization. It's not just water reclamation. It's not just the Delta. It's not just the LA, Southern California area and all its residents. It just keeps getting deeper and more complex. And then California, we like to add complexities in, like environmentalists and archaeology and all these other things that we have to account for to make sure that we're making the best possible decision, which makes our decision process long, laborious, argumentative. We're trying to build a bullet train up through the middle of the state. You cannot take a train from San Francisco to LA direct. You can't do it. So we're trying to work on fixing these things, but we can't because it costs $1 trillion and it has arguments and it takes 50 years to do it. Not because the construction takes 50 years, but the legal process. Anyhow, that's all that stuff. Hey, I guess Matthew Dennison is not showing up today, which is fine. I will take the time off and I will make some short videos for you all to watch and enjoy. Definitely curious what you guys all think. Always interested. Want you to check in with me, Pete at breakitdownshow.com. Email me. Feel free to do that. Hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm always glad to talk about culture, spy stuff, music, books, whatever it is. Who do you want to have on the show? Let me know. Do you want to be on the show as a guest host? Do you want to bring me a guest? Let's talk. I'd love to say yes to that. Hit me up. Pete at breakitdownshow.com. We really care about you, and the best way to support, obviously, is to subscribe wherever you listen, but also hit that PayPal button and put a little money in there. That definitely goes a long, long way. It helps me buy ads, helps me travel, and helps me buy equipment. That's where that money goes. This guy with the blower is loud, so I'm going to hang up on you guys. Take care, have a great day, and know that I care about you.